When playing chess at the highest level, chess grandmasters burn as much as 6,000 calories a day just with their mind. It's no secret that the human brain uses as much as 20% of the body's calories, and scientists have shown that simply concentrating burns extra calories compared to not thinking too hard. With an already superb brain and non-stop calculation for hours and days on end, it's no surprise that chess grandmasters burn so many calories. But what about CSGO players? CSGO players have to be concentrating non-stop. CSGO players have extended high blood pressure in game. CS players have higher heart rates in game. CS players are constantly calculating crosshair position, enemy location, recoil, control, and economy, while they have utility, ammo, health, and voice comms all in the back of their mind. Truly, CSGO is the most intellectually stimulating and demanding game currently available. With this in mind, it should be apparent that sitting down to play CSGO stimulates the neurons to such a degree that playing CSGO burns significantly more calories than being at rest. If a 200-pound inactive male burns 2,600 calories per day, or about 120 calories per hour awake, then we should assume that they would burn more than 120 calories while awake while playing CSGO. There have been some smaller studies on video games, such as this study that suggested male gamers burned on average 210 calories from 1 hour of Call of Duty, or about 90 extra calories per hour of COD. But there is relatively no good evidence of CSGO calories, until I found a Reddit post labeled "Competitive CSGO burns calories like crazy." Basically, a Reddit user put a carbon dioxide detector in his room, and measured carbon dioxide and parts per million in his room before, during, and after a CSGO game. Carbon dioxide is ubiquitous in our environment at about 420 parts per million, and while idly doing nothing, this Reddit user routinely brought the carbon dioxide parts per million up to about 650 parts per million, about 1.5 times above the baseline of 420. During his experiment, the Reddit user got the carbon dioxide parts per million up to 1,333 parts per million, which is very high. However, I am a skeptic. If at baseline the Reddit user's room is about 650 to 700 parts per million while idly doing nothing, that would be about 250 parts per million above the ubiquitous 420 parts per million of our environment. That would make the 1,333 about 900 parts per million above the 420 of the environment, or it would mean about 3.5 times more calories burned per hour than at idle. If the average inactive 200-pound man burns about 120 calories per hour while awake, that would imply about 420 calories are being burned per hour by the CSGO player, slightly more than the chess player. I think CSGO players burn significantly more calories than, say, a person doing nothing, but I don't think they are thinking harder than professional chess players. This could also be a problem of proximity to the CO2 measurer. Maybe being too close to the measurer while playing CS means the CO2 has less time to disperse. However, maybe this is as simple as plants. Plants produce the majority of their energy and therefore oxygen when they are in direct sunlight. Given OP played his CS game at 9 PM, maybe it's possible plants weren't absorbing CO2 because there was no sunlight. Whatever the case, there are many other confounding variables, and I don't think we can trust this data. Well, how else can we measure caloric expenditure of CSGO players? One way might be through heart rate, with the assumption that higher heart rate means more oxygen and glucose being delivered to the body. That's when I came across this video where pro CSGO players play a game of CS wearing heart rate monitors. One player's heart rate got up to 148 beats per minute at one point, likely more than twice his resting heart rate. However, the average of the players throughout the game was about 110 beats per minute, and that's in front of a crowd, so let's go with 105 for your average player. If the average CSGO enjoyer has a resting heart rate of 70 and an in-game heart rate of 105, that would imply they're burning about 1.5 times the number of calories in game as they are out of game, right? I mean, this would explain why you get so hot when you play real video games, and why after a couple intense games of CS you need a break. But how good exactly is heart rate as a predictor for total calorie expenditure? So, I typed that exact sentence into Google, and I got this atrocious graph. Seriously, almost nothing is set up well. Heart rate starts at 50 and skips by 20, which makes it hard to tell the rate of change intuitively. However, if you can get past that, you will notice that the line of regression is not linear until the heart rate gets past 105. However, it does seem that from 70 to 105 beats per minute, the average rate of change of caloric expenditure is 1. What we can take from this graph, and heart rate increasing by 1.5 times, is that it's likely playing CSGO increases your metabolic rate by 150%. I'm tired of this video.